Alright folks, welcome chickadees to the hen house. We got Star Trek, we got Borg back in town, we got some different stuff going on. I had some weird OBS setting stuff that had to be worked out, otherwise I would have been live about 17 to 20 minutes ago. Thought it wasn't going to work and I was going to end up on Twitch, but we got it worked out, so I know I am live now, so I am pleased about that. But I wasn't sure what was going on. Like everything was broken. That's never fun. So. Never fun, never fun. So I hope people are doing well. So I'll be playing around with some of this stuff because I got some things fixed after last week's stream on YouTube. Because this is the only time I'm currently streaming on YouTube. There may be more, but right now, especially eventually when YouTube a little more supportive, but let's see. But I hope people are doing great and happy Saturday. And let me let the Alliance know we're live. Let's see. Okay, so they want to hang out there. Some of them only hang out on Twitch. Some of them only hang out on YouTube, I think. So part of why we hang out both places. So let's take a gander, as we say. And I got my chat bots actually working this time. My stream element stuff. So that'll be. So, but yeah, I was not sure what was going on with OBS. I think OBS there was a special update. It ripped out all my settings and it was like, you can't stream. No stream for you. That's what I was hearing. So let's take a look at some of these events and see what's going on. Happy Halloween, happy Sunday. Let's see here. So we have an anomalous phenomenon. This is the off week where we're gonna have to kill things because we can't summon yet. Trick or treat. Okay, we're back to kill everything faction hunt. So okay, so we know how to do that. This is only the third time of doing that. Just get on the nerves after a while. Kill our swarm, of course. We want to get a swarm and our anomalous done pretty darn quickly. And we're supposed to have. Where's my Borg event? Let's see, because that's what they predicted. If you checked out my video on YouTube, that hey Brandon Vaughn, how you doing? Welcome and hello, happy Sunday, happy Halloween. Just trying to sort some of the stuff. I'm like, where the Borg event is supposed to have an officer event today, and maybe I missed it. Maybe I need to relaunch the game. I'm not sure. Thank you for stopping in, Brandon, so early into the stream, and apologies, I had some delays in getting started because we had some OBS problems. Hey, Mick as well. Hello, how you folks doing? Let's see here. Where's our... There, okay, return to the Mega Cube. So it is recruit and assimilate. We still have the... Borg probes will help the Alliance, so I need to remember that because I can always farm Borg probes. But I'm going to be killing a lot of things, it looks like, today. So glad to see you guys coming in and joining us on the live stream here. So I was a little worried about it. I wasn't sure. I was doing, you know, when you're doing tech support right at the minute that you think you're going live, that's kind of funky. It's like, let's see. So Borg shards, uncommon on up, spend XP on Borg officers. And then just generic. So we're going to be doing opening some polls today. So we'll do that. In fact, we may do that before we do anything else, just because that might be a nice thing. Because if somebody gets leveled up, that may help with either the away team missions or what we're loading up here. So let's see. Let's collect some away team missions. Let's look for criticals. Get your coffee. Started on Marvel Strike Force and went from level 1 to level 3. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a fun game. I was playing it this morning before before streaming Star Trek. It can get on my nerves at times, just like, I mean, this game does too. So definitely different kinds of games. So, but yeah, it's pretty fun, particularly in the beginning when you're making all those, gaining ground and moving upwards and everything. That's a lot of fun. So I usually do my Marvel Strike Force stream mainly on Monday evenings after work, Pacific time. Marvel Mondays, I've been calling them lately, because there's a lot more Star Trek and more New World stuff going on lately in my streams. But can't forget the roots. So, okay. Address the High Council. 22 characters on. Oh, yeah, Lady Death's right. Yeah, no, it'll be cool. You can check out, or no, you can see some of my videos. There's plenty of Marvel Strike Force videos in my YouTube catalog as well. Some of them may help as we talk about different things. I haven't been doing as much of the news videos and things like that. Those haven't been as popular, really. Things were honestly, Star Trek is a lot more popular for my YouTube community and is in somewhat for my Twitch community too. So it's kind of and right now I'm definitely feeling my Star Trek more than I am my Marvel Strike Force. So that does go in a little bit of ebbs and flows. So I'm never sure when that's going to change. Oh, cool. Let's see here. All right, let's look at these officers. Figure out what we can do to pull some of this stuff. Here's the recruits. I've been sitting on officers for I don't know how long. That transporter pattern. I haven't spent a single thing in officers for at least 2 weeks, probably. I don't want to blow my load the whole way here because there's likely to be another officer leaderboard in a day or two or something. I wouldn't be surprised. It almost seems like they do that sometimes where they build up one we know about and then the other one makes you want to do 62,000 TCP. Very cool. Keep building. I think I'm pushing 11 million right now on mine. But you can always find people bigger than you to make it difficult. Like that's what I'll say. Let's see here. Now this is going to work because everything in here is going to count. So I've only got one chest, but we'll see how far that gets us. Okay, good. 6 of 10, so we get the purples. And a 5, yes, always take 5. Okay. All right. Now we'll pull the discovery thing. You can see I've been sitting on some discovery stuff because I do need Giorgio. Oh, okay, yeah. Swarm Sunday is here. That is very true. Very true. I know. I'm Swarm Sunday and Faction Hunt and Anomalous Phenomenon. I'm gonna have. It's gonna be busy. So I'm gonna see how far I can get during this stream. Bach is transporter patterns, but he's blue, so that's always good. Finding impossible to join an active alliance. Any tips about trying to chat with them? Ship. Yes, you do want to. Well, you do want to try to chat with them. Look, and I would look at who is active. Here, let's open these. Look at who's active. Giorgio! Look at who's active in your global chat. Look at who's not a douche in global chat. That is an important thing. Because you may have to dodge and weave on that regard. And then, reach out, send a private message, ask them if their alliance is active, if they're taking people at your level, that kind of thing. Yeah, Shatterstar will be good for you. He's pretty good. But work on your Wave 1 Avengers and your Sinister 6 in the beginning. Anyway, let's see here. So Shep, as far as getting in that, you are going to want to find some friendly people. Now, the truth is, a lot of the more developed alliances may very well be, they might be like, no, we can't take you until you're a certain level, or something, because everybody's got limited slots. So, but you may be able to get into at least an active one. One thing you want in an alliance is you need the alliance leader to be active. So if you look at your numbers, you see that, like I've got red here is our leader. So if you see the leader of an alliance that you're in and you actually never see that person, you don't see them on and you don't see them talking, you know, you can go a day and you don't hear them talking unless they're like, oh, I was out of town, sorry, yeah, bye, that kind of thing. Get out of that alliance and go to another one. So, because there's so much you can't do, you know, you just will slow down without your alliance leader. So there's a lot of alliances that are created and don't have anyone. So they don't have anything. If they don't have their leader, they're not, no one can take over the leadership. So just move on. But chat people up. If you see people playing, if you see, you know, you may find where you're living, you may see a hub of some people. If they're not all attacking you all the time and, you know, and all that, you might just reach out to somebody and just say hi. But it does kind of require a little bit of talking. You could put a flag out on my Discord or on some of the other, in the big Discord, Star Trek Fleet Command, and some of the Discords, and look and see if you can find things. But usually there's messages about recruiting in the global chat. It's just global galaxy chat is full of drama, politics, and douches. So not exclusively, but you'll have to like pay attention to some of that while you go, there's somebody, you know, who'll say they're recruiting, and you can just, you know, chat with them. And if they don't sound like an idiot or an asshole, then pardon me, YouTube, then maybe consider joining them. Oh yeah, no, Ultima 6 will help you out. That's a good one, Brandon. See here. Current alliance totally zombie. Yeah, missing out. Yeah. Well, I think you get put into one. I think you get put into one by automatically, or told to click one in the very beginning of the game, and it's usually a dead alliance or an alliance of new people who aren't necessarily playing the game after 3 days, and all that. So you whatever alliance that is you're in, you want to go somewhere else. Yeah, every day, Brandon. Yeah, you need that. If they're not active like that, you don't want to stay in them either. A dead alliance, inactive alliances on both Strike Force and Star Trek are no good for you. They're not helping. There's too much, you know. If you look at the events, like here in Star Trek, Trek or Treat. Here we go. This is the Alliance leaderboard. You know, we're rank 13, so we're gonna get some of these points as we work on this. If you don't have an alliance that's trying to work on these and compete in these Alliance leaderboards, then you are not in the right alliance. You don't have to. You're not going to be necessarily in the top alliance, but yeah. Oh, no problem, Shep. Oh, Mick and Shep, are y'all in the same server and stuff? Perhaps. Let's see here. What are we gonna do here? Officers. Which would be cool. If you meet people here, that's great. Let's see. Okay, recruits. I didn't want to buy Giorgio, but of course, and how many Giorgios do I have? 45. Oof. You don't know. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, if you find anyone, you can announce your server in here, and if somebody else is on there and they know, then oh, join ours. Okay, Knights of Knee. Okay, Mick, I saw Mick. I missed Mick's amounts. Again, you might meet people here. Just make sure you're on the same server, and then you're in a better spot. There are good alliances out there, and there's a lot of good people. Let's see here. So, in honor of this event, I should probably pull 6 of 10. Just making sure. Where is he? 6 of 230. I'll pull them for the sake of the event. I'm going to continue to get more transporter patterns. Pull for the event. There we go. That's just officer recruit. Okay. Fortunately, with these kind of... Yeah, keep building him. But he's not going to be your main until later on, Brandon. Wave 1 Avengers and Sinister 6, maybe AIM. Wave 1, Sinister 6 for villains. So, let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So, simulate. It's just an SLB, so I want to build up. If I spend XP on some Borg officers, that would be nice. Let's see who I have to do stuff. Yeah, I'm moving on up. Oh, not on the same server. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, keep plugging away. You're gonna want a wide roster and strike forward. Let's see here. All right. What are we doing here? Look at these officers. See who we have. See what who's upgradable. Well, Livis actually I do want to upgrade. Yes. What is his ability? I will occasionally use him. But I am using him on away team missions more often, so we want him strong. Aru, not really, but it's cheap, so. Anyway, see, and Claw, yeah, you know, one day we'll use Claw, particularly in the PvP stuff. Get over there. But, try to look at our Borg people and see if there's anybody who needs something going on here, because there's a lot of work today. I can tell I'm going to be roaming and doing stuff, not just during this stream. Let's see. Levels. Okay. She's the critical hit one. Okay. Let's see who we can spend money on. Particularly any of these folks that I actually like. Oh! Well, 5 of 10 is not leveled up? Well, I don't know how that happened. I only use you every day. Or Jayla. There you go. That was somewhat fortuitous. There we go. So when doing swarms, is it worth getting blown up due to the recall time? Or I do just recall when I'm very low? Usually I will get blown up. Because the difference, it's not an appreciable difference in saving you time on repair or costing more. It's a cheap ship, so just blow it up. So, because you never know if you're not gonna, you may end up being able to kill 1 or 2 more before you think. The only exception to that is when your swarm's hull is full and can't hold any more frequency modulators. So if your hull is full, then you may want to just go on back, unless you're really close to dying. Because if it's going to take you a while, then it might be worth it. But so you probably, if you get blown up, you generally don't save as much time as you would. You know, you'd have to save like 5 minutes flying back to then begin repair. You probably don't save 5 minutes in extra time for repair if you just get yourself blown up. The big thing is making sure you're not sitting out there where somebody ganks you to take your frequency modulators. And that's particularly where being in the full hull. With my Franklin at the moment, it gets full before it blows up. And so, although I will run it, we'll see what I do, because it varies depending on where I am, how many more. Because like on a Swarm Sunday, you need to kill more anyway. So I'm usually done with my daily swarm activities before it's blown up. So at that point, it depends. But okay, I'm looking for those Borg again. Yes. You can. There was a long time. I'm now recalling where I didn't have any officer XP. So being able to spend these are people I use. So the fact that I hadn't looked at them, it's great. So thank you, Scopely, for doing an event where I end up looking at these characters I use and realizing that they're not where I need them to be. Okay. All right. So that's already going to help. Let's just see where we are in some events. Yep. rank 10, which I won't stay in. But that was some freebie stuff, so I haven't had to try. Thor and... No problem, Mick. Thor and Hawkeye. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, work on that team, Brandon. That's definitely gonna be, that's kind of like the starter team for heroes. You'll get the most use out of them. So work on getting them. Black Widow's easy to farm, so just start farming her. Let's see here. Alright. Now, that was some officer activity, and then I just keep checking these events. So that's just rank 10. Okay, so we don't need to do anything. I can pull some other things while some ships are flying. Let's get some ships doing something. Go. Alright, where's the discovery? There it is. Oh, and I guess Wesley and Picard is over. Shut up, Wesley. Let's see. You know, something I do have to do some stuff, but we haven't done. What? Olber. I never use these people. What do they do? Like, defending against a player. That's useless. Cost efficiency of jumping and summoning. Okay, well that could help, but what was that? Trying to see here. Capture node. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. Okay, he can sit on the side, I believe. Ash Tyler, I know does some stuff. Tilly. When defending player attack, useless. Okay. On its weapon, 30% chance, 35% chance. There's a reason we don't use these people. Oh, and I guess the other are the origins, because I know Captain Tilly is more useful. Hull breach. Okay. Screw it. These people are useless. So, all right. Let's just go with some tried and true hostile grinding. Dear Lord. Where's Chin? They're way too useless. And it's like, yes, they have some, you know, they have some potential uses here and there. I'd have to work on it. I'm like, oh, what? Like, what in the world? There we go. And not Khan. Not here, Nero. There we go. That way I got people available. Want to be able to build into some armada if it gets done and people are doing it. So let's see here. We'll get some of these ships going out. I think I got myself built up enough that I can actually handle a better, like, let's try say. Yeah, sure, go. Oh, well, shit. How about, let's do the actual right ship. There you go, because I'm like, where's my jump notification? Yep. Recall. Okay. I killed a million things. Let's get the next ship be the Franklin. And get that going. Boom, boom, boom. There's some stuff out. All right, Pike. Where are you? Just getting ourselves situated here. So happy Halloween. Hope people have some fun plans, fun hanging out at home plans, or parties, or whatever. Something safe and enjoyable. I'm getting over being... I was quite ill yesterday. So, got my booster shot, and boy, it was like I had the flu. I'm coming off of it this morning, but I'm not fully there yet, but I am coming around the corner. But I figured that would have happened too, so, but there you go, the lawn. All right, now some more health. There we go. And let's see what we can do here. All right, bring some people here. Yeah, 410. Little Borglet. Oh wait, we need a defense person. Round this out. Merrick, you strong enough? Yep. All right, we want to be at 100 across the board there. Oh, thank you for joining the Discord. I appreciate it. That'll be good. You might be able to find some people playing on your server, you know, that kind of thing. So trying to build that Discord up, of course. So far, we don't have a single troll in there and everything, which is good. I'll get rid of them if we ever do, but it's pretty nice. But thank you for joining. So, and then we can get links, you'll get news for the game, things like that. And of course, notifications of when yours truly is going live or on Twitch or on YouTube. So it can be good. A good place to find some people. And as my channels and streams grow, the Discord will grow too, so we'll have more and more people. You'll find people who want to give you some information and give you tips. So, in there, in addition to myself. So, let's see. Unlike Hulk in 10 days. Yep. Work on getting him. I mean, he shows up when he does, you know. So, work on the other ones as well, and then you'll be in a better spot. Okay, so let's see here. We've got our swarm. We've got our anomalous phenomenon. So those two are covered. The mega cube, we'll open some more officers. The trick or treat though is we should start getting our ships out to attack everything for faction hunting. So usually we'll come over here. And let's see here. Out of Kirk, let's find. Okay, we are already using Ahura, and we have Pike out. So so now we start going to tertiary and all that. You know, for this, let's see if Beverly Crusher, William Riker on the side does damage against Federation. I'm sending this to Feds. This is the health and defense side, and then who? Let me see. Oh, look, we're gonna look at the faction officer. We may pull one of these other people, but let's look for the faction officer who hates the Federation. Not Yuki, she hates the Romulans. It's one of these people that we get further down the road. So like Yuki hates Romulan grudge. Theseus is the honor guard. Who is it? Klingon, he hates Klingons. It's Severus, it's not, I think it's Merrick who I actually have. Let me see. Yeah, Merrick. Damage based on, so that would actually work with a defense build, but that's already on a ship, so that's just a side note on that. If you're using those faction officers, they can often be, they end up below decks for me a lot, so you end up with that kind of problem. So let's give, actually Troy is giving shield deflection, armor and dodge, so that's going to increase it, which is part of what armor, shield, dodge she's given by defense and by health. So what I tend to do here is try to pull, and in this case I will pull Con and 6 of 10 because I'm going to pull some of the bigger folks. Spring was already on there, so that's half. Now I'm going to go and get some defense as well. And yes, we'll let Spock go and Marcus so that we have some defense and health to kind of boost both of those abilities. And we're just going to see how this does. So we're gonna test it. She's a little weird when she's captain because you need both, ideally, and that's. So we'll start with her in Groombridge, and then let's pull this. We're gonna. Speaking of which, almost forgot because we. Okay. Now her and him pulling the health, and then which is fine. So she's good at this job. Now the question is who is going to support Port Harbor. We'll send them into the Romulan zone. So I think Yuki. Now she needs health. So again, this is going to be a weird one because it's health and defense. Well, no, where's Yuki? Here. At least name. We know Yuki's going to be near the very end. I believe Yuki is one we can consider using here as a test. Ships by 75% of the health. Perfect. This is perfect synergy for her because her captain ability wants the health. So just like the other one, Mirik is going to work on defense. So now we're just going to do nothing but health. But of course, one of the problems is what we've got loaded already. Come on. You can do it. Get on up there. And while we're in here, let's... Yes, I am going to boost you because you're going to get more health when I boost you like this. So I'm going to spend some stuff towards leveling him up for the event. You know, eventually, he has more use later on when you're doing some PvP, some territory capture because of that speed stuff. You know, that can really help. Although we're now running out of stuff, so I want to... That's cool. We'll let him stay there. Now, these guys are going to go to Terminimerus, where I can grind some stuff there, so... Alright, ships are flying. Play Rooster, I've just got the Kira, level 20. Who is the best officer to increase weapons, or which is the best bridge crew? Let's see. I'd be happy to look at it. I'm just trying to remember what that ship is. So, let me just make sure I don't go off wrong, because it's been a little while. So, okay, you got the Kira. She's an interceptor. Okay. Okay. So, again, it does depend on what you're doing. I'm assuming you're talking about for, like, for hostiles versus PvP. There are some PvP crewing that you typically have available at the level where you have the Kira. There's the Klingon ones, grouping that is all PvP, and they have 3 different ones based on which type of ship it is, and you make them the captain, and you put some of the others in there. And that can be kind of good. But, and it just kind of depends on what you're going now. You probably don't have Pike or Moreau as far as hostiles. They're the best on the hostile duo. And you probably don't have 5 of 10, who's also very good with hostiles. But you should have Cadet Uhura and Cadet McCoy. They're another extremely useful and early on available hostile hunt. So you do them, and then Chen or Talon. Well, usually if you're following the battle triangle with hostiles, then an interceptor is supposed to be hitting battleships. So in battleships, only until later levels, they tend to have energy weapons. So you would put Chen on as the third with that group. Talon is when you're going against interceptor hostiles. So use Cadet Uhura, Cadet McCoy, and Chen, which all of whom you should have at least unlocked by this level. And you will, because they come pretty quickly. So those will be the ones for grinding your hostiles. When you're doing like Separatist Elites and different things in PvP, you're going to do some other builds. But that's going to be your good ones until you start getting the Pike Moreau, or you luck out and get 5 of 10 and some of the Borg stuff like that. So here, that's what I would be doing. Just like I'm using here, these guys. I'm using, this is the setup I'm using, and we're actually fighting interceptors. So Talon would have been good, but I knew I needed to use Talon on the next. I needed Talon for the Franklin. So there's no, and here these battles are just not that hard. So Chen helps some depending on what the loadout on these interceptor hostiles are, but Talon would be better. But on Sunday, Talon goes with your Pike Moreau group. It goes with your swarm ship until you're done with that. Yeah, the cadets, those are good. You can also do some stuff with the TNG cadets and all that, they have some similar. There's no replacement for Chen or Talon, but they do have. You can use first year next generation Geordie LaForge as captain. You can use Beverly Crusher, the gray uncommon one, as a side person, and then usually Troy, Deanna Troy. So all those gray ones, and that's a decent hostile team too, and that works for me too. I'll do that. So I was just kind of messing around with my different units and all that. So so that gives you another options. But that's a good earlier hostile thing. As, you know, as you get higher, you start having the faction officers, and you can start considering bringing them in and things like that. But yeah, those will work really well for you, as well as anyone's going to work for basic hostiles. And follow that battle triangle; it is your friend. Like battle triangle here, I am explorers are good against interceptors, so they have an advantage against interceptors, so that helps grinding hostiles that way. Let's see here. Yeah, no problem. You know, you can check. It doesn't have the next generation information. I have a video out there that's still very pertinent about officer and crewing basics in there. I need to do an updated video that reflects some of these other options, or maybe I'll do some smaller videos that are just about like, hey, if you're mining, these are things to do, and options, and then, you know, different things like that. It's kind of an overview, and it talks about like Ahura, and it talks about, you know, Pike and Moreau, and those different things. It also talks about mining officers. And I can't remember if I got into the basic PvP loadouts. I don't think I did, so that's something I need another video on. But you know, you may find that helpful too as a reference. So it's like officer and crew basics, I think is the name of it. In there, well, check it out. Lots of people are still watching that and reporting that it's helpful too. But because you might pick up something that I said there that I forget to say here on stream too. But those will help. There's some different principles out there that are out there. And eventually, and soon enough, you're going to be getting the Kirk and Spock and Bones, and you're going to get the Gorkon and Kurla and others, Klingons, and you're going to get the Nero and Umok? I forget the names. The Nero grouping. You can get those, and those actually are good for they've been, in some ways they've been power crept by some of the things, but they're still pretty good, and they're going to be easily accessible. They're going to be good for some basic PvP or some boss fighting, particularly if you put them on the correct ship and all that. Although there's things you can do with that, you know, like you put Gorkon on the Interceptor, the Gorkon crew on the Interceptor, you put the Nero crew on battleships, that kind of thing. Anyway, started Armadas. How about the best crew for that? Armadas, definitely different crews. Don't use any of the crews I told you about for hostiles. The first thing to know is anybody, most of the people that are good for hostiles are bad for Armadas. And Armadas and PvP are, well, they're not one-to-one the same, because there are things where Armada officers are specially good, and they're not. But there are some ones that are good for PvP are good for Armadas. But the ones I'm talking about, actually, if you do Kirk and Spock and Bones, or Kirk, Spock, and Khan, not the cadets. When you get Khan, he's very helpful. Kirk, Spock, Khan is a really good, reliable one. I use that. I don't have all the officers that some people do, so I'm still playing catch up on a lot of officer stuff. So Kirk, Spock, and Bones, or Kirk, Spock, and Khan are good on whatever your ship is for Armada. However, you can do the Gorkon, Kurla on an Interceptor. That's where you do have to be careful, because Kirk and Spock can help any ship, but they help explorers a little better than anybody else. But I put them on my Stella for the Stella Matas. the exchange armadas, things like that, they're fine. They just make you live longer. Gorkon and Kurla, with some other mixes, do a lot on an interceptor for an armada, because they give them that hull breach mechanic. And if you're using a battleship in an armada, then you can use the Kumak. I'm forgetting his name. He's the blue Nero officer, and Nero, and then one of the others can be helpful. Let's see here. Let's get this repairing for battleships. It's the old burn crew, which isn't as good as the new burn crew, which is where you get Giorgio and Ash Tyler and others. And right now I've been using, since I don't have Giorgio, but I do have Ash Tyler, I've been using Kumak with Nero as captain, with Nero on the side and Ash Tyler on the other side to increase burning and stuff. So do some testing on that. So there are also some Armada specific officers like William Riker, who you may not have, or 6 of 10, who you may not have. You're going to hear a common theme, who you may not have at your level. That have special abilities related to Armadas. Beverly Crusher, the blue next generation one, who you may not have, has Armada abilities. Picard, who I don't have either, has different, I think has different abilities, but I forget. It'll be a long time before I get Picard, unless I spend more money, which I don't plan on doing. So let's see here. Let's see where we got on Anomalous. So there's a lot of stuff to do with Armadas. That's probably a good video in itself, because I want to, again, one of the things that I've done in most of the games like Marvel Strike Force and Star Trek where I play is not, I can talk to you about some of the things that, like, if you have everybody that you could have bought or ground out and made sure you got, then you can do the optimals. But there's also, officers take some work, and you get used to them as you slowly learn a few, and then you can start testing a little things to see how they do. Because you'll see when you try something and then, hey, Anomalous is done, good. You'll see what happens when you start, like, say, hey, let's see how this does against these hostiles. And if you, like, go, oh, I died a lot faster, then throw that in the trash and do something else. You don't have to tell anyone or do it on stream like I do, and hear the loving comments, So, let's see here. So, all right, let's get a little swarm run going over here. What's going on? Let's see here. Alright, guard captain ability is a clone of Pike, but works on Armada. Thank you, Harmonica Luke. I was like, I think he does something, but he is Pike related, so I couldn't, thank you. I don't have him, so I couldn't quite remember what it was he does. I know he's great, and I'll be happy when I get him, but, till I start using him, I'm like, what does he do? Thank you. Yeah, didn't want to tell people for sure he does it. But thank you. Thanks a bunch. And welcome to the stream. Now, let's see here. It looks like we're fighting for our hostiles. We just want to get to a spot where we can start getting some of these. We may have to flit around. I know. I'm going to get one of these. Dear me, it's busy in here. And then I can just try to figure out where I am. I'm not on the spawn point, so what about down... This looks safer. I'm gonna come down here. Yeah, that guy's leaving. I'm gonna just sit over here. Yes. Appreciate it. Picard's been one that I wanted. I was just happy to be able to unlock Riker, and I had to push, and I even spent a little bit at the end of the TNG arc when we had the arc store available, just to make sure I unlocked Riker. And now I'm starting to play around and test Riker, and messing with him. And, like, I think he's on this ship, this other ship. So, Picard, when it comes to leaderboards and all that, I have generally... What the... Hello, bugs. Scopely, little bastards. Sorry, I don't like it when Scopely's bugs screw me over like that. My ship was going and was supposed to be attacking. Then it, like, reset. Oh, like, everything you hit within the last 3 seconds didn't count. Like, well, screw off, Scope. So, Anyway, Picard's good, but again, since there was a lot of leaderboards to get him, I usually don't expect to be able to finish higher than like in the very end of a leaderboard, unless I'm gonna do some spending, which I try not. I can whale, and I've whaled I whaled a lot in Marvel Strike Force. Whaled less some here. It's like I'm trying to be okay with being in a natural, moving slower through things, because whenever I start feeling like I'm missing out and I can spend, you just end up spending too much money. Anyway, to grind the USS Franklin, well, you'll get it through the storyline, and then, but you should have some quests that start introducing you to swarms. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's a storyline that takes you through hitting the swarms and stuff, and I don't remember. Don't you get this? Chat, help me remember. Don't you get the Franklin for free in the beginning? And then you have to work on grinding to build it up and unlock the warp interlocked things at every tier. Because I think you can get it in this. You can get an extra one in the store, but I don't. I mean, I have 2 Franklins, but you probably don't want 2 Franklins. I'm like, wait, they're not. Are they? Do they even sell them occasionally? They. No, I'm pretty sure you get it for free. Look in your missions and make sure you don't, make sure you've been doing your missions, because they're going to carry you through on some of these things. And particularly, there's a long mission chain that is, I think, still going on for me with the Franklin, building the Franklin up. It kind of tells the story of what happened to the Franklin and all that stuff. So if that doesn't sound familiar, then you're missing out on that. You want to do that. I'm not sure if that gives you the blueprints or what happens there. We can check once we get not off stream, can look at some of the resources and all that, if someone in chat doesn't already recall. But you definitely want to get it, but just definitely focus on cleaning up whatever missions you have for that. There should be with some of the stuff at the level 15 swarm systems, and then 15 and 16 and all that, because you can kill some of those 15s and 16s with lower things. Honestly, if you have the jellyfish, it really tears up the swarm at like the level 15 and 16 systems, and that's about it. But then by that point you should get your Franklin, so that you're working on it. But you should have it and then build it up. The Franklin looks weak, and then you need to put all the research and levels into it, and then it's not weak. But it's only good for swarm. And when it first came out, we used to think that because it had like 3 guns, it was going to be good. It's not. The only specific hostile ship that is actually good in general is the Vidar, which when you get to I think 26 or 28, you should be making sure you get, and that you work on maxing. I've almost got mine maxed, and I have a second one, which is probably. It's overkill, but you'll see I have a second Stella, a second Vidar, and a second Franklin, none of which are necessary, but the second Stella is actually pretty useful. The rest are just a little. I mean, some of them are because I think I got them for free. I know I got the second Vidar was the free Vidar, because I bought Vidar when the Vidar first came out. But people have seen that I have a nice little spot for swarm, and so now they're coming on over. Come on over. Move it on over. There we go. Just move my dang ship. Here we go. Now I can just position. All right. And All right. Let's see here. So, well, if now that no, for a second I thought they left. I was going to move this ship and kind of ignore these people for a minute who have come into my little neighborhood of Swarmville. All that. So, who am I with? Kind of do some sharing, but I'll let him go. Let's go see how this. Let's see this grouping. This one is Beverly with Riker and then Troy. Just trying to kind of. I can't resist the thematic reasons to keep these folks together, so that's what's going on. I was like, well, let's see how we do it against these 39s in Groombridge, because that's something that I do often. Yeah, and if you do a lot of same kind of hostile grinding for some of your events, then you'll have an idea of how these alternate officer builds are performing. Even before you do like a real side-by-side, you can just be like, oh, normally I do better than that. You'll get a feel. Like, they took a lot of my hull. So, let's see here. And I will try to move this and try Myrick Federation. Go anti-Federation, especially because that'll work well with Beverly Crusher. But look, the hull is really, I mean, there's a sliver, the hull, so this looks very. I've been having fun with Beverly Crusher as captain. I think she's a little underrated in that way. She's good for hostile captaining, scrapping ships, which I'll be doing. Well, do you know why you're scrapping them? I guess it was where I'd start. You know, it's like you don't. There are little things you can scrap. I know the more when things are maxed out, you get better scrap rewards. But not everything low level is worth maxing out. Now, like I can tell you that like something that I still do, if you take an envoy and max it out with, you know, you can wait for an event, spend ship XP or grind it on maxing out an envoy and can do the 2-star materials and things for that. And then you get some good 3-star return on the scrap on the envoy. So that's like something I do periodically. Now I have Latinum that I can blast through and use because I tend to have some of that because I do spend some. So it's not as big of a deal for me, but that's an option. But you max the ship out before you scrap it. Typically you get a much better reward. Usually I think those ships, do not scrap your Rialta. I'll tell you that. Do not. One, you never get that back unless that when they do those Rialta rumbles every few months. Sometimes they make it so people can get them back, but generally you're just not going to get that ship back. So it's a unique ship, so you might as well keep it. And it's probably not worth it. So later on, some scrapping to make profit. Well, yeah, you gotta look at it because a lot of it, in order to get the best rewards for some stuff, is going to be having them be maxed out. Hagen, out and about running errands, but stop by for an Arby's and pop it in for a quick hello. Have a great stream. Thank you, Hagen. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. I'll be on New World later, so I hope to see you there as well. Mrs. Rooster just created a new alt on the East Coast server as well. Plus, I'm happy to play on either server, but we're just doing different things. So, or I'll create an alt on another server. So, anyway, but getting back to that Mick on, and yes, Arby's, yum. That makes me think of Arby's. I would say, if you got ships like your fortunate miners, and you look at what you're going to get, and you can actually have a use for what you're going to get, then scrapping them, and if you're not using them, you know, you've got what, 3 envoys, because you're probably never mining more than 3 at a time, and then, you know, you're not going to need that. So, oh, okay, cool, excellent. Yeah, because that'll be fun. I'm kind of doing a a respec of my Archer into a caster on the East Coast server. So anyway, but on scrapping, so if you see that you get stuff out of it, then and you don't use the ship and you don't plan to ever use the ship, then that's fine. You know, you're gonna get stuff. It's just others, like you may stand to get better profit by actually maxing out the ship before you scrap it. And if that's the case, you may have to figure out if it's worth the effort and the resources to max it out before you scrap it. So that's the gotcha. There's some ships later on when we're talking about the level 26 ships like the Mayflower and the D3 that people who are, once they're past their enterprises, you know, are maxing them out to scrap them because you get 4-star material for primes. And that's a whole different story. Those ships have specific yield, but they all have to be maxed out too. So, and those are grinds, but that's above your level. But I believe some of the ships that you have in your zone. Let's see. Trying to remember here. Not the Talon. Yeah, like I said, the Envoy's kind of special and it does yield some good stuff. But I think it's more in the Kira, Vaklis, Kumari range where you're at right now as your main ships. So you're not gonna where you can actually get some decent amount of stuff out of them, scrapping them. If one wanted to build them, you can see I can build all these, and if I ever want to just kind of blow through some stuff, I can. So, but before that, it's really the Envoy, and the rest of the stuff will be what you're getting rid of. What you're getting rid of that actually pays out a little. So, I mean, yeah, you don't need to worry about your Corvette. You can always, apparently I can only build one more of those, but just kind of depends on what you're getting. But you get to see the payouts before you get upgraded, or before you have to pull the trigger. That is. All right, let's go back here. Yeah. So if it's clear that it's a boost for you, then you're good. You know. But just know that some, like the envoys are worth getting maxed out. So look at, you know, but you also will. I mean, I used envoys even after I had horizons until I had enough ships. You know, if you do a lot of mining, like I might run upwards of three miners when I'm doing a lot of mining events and activities. So let's see. In fact, I'm building a third horizon right now because I've got a maxed horizon, a middle horizon, and I've got my Antares, which does better. So I think it's a maxed Antares, but it did fine doing crystal, but I'll just use them for other things like so. Let's see here. What have we? Oh goodness, this is just a reminder that the dailies are not anywhere special. So this is going to be a little slow right now as what do we hit? No. Sometimes this thing is just slow. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's see. Alright. We're doing okay here. We will go over to Wolf after a while on these ships. Let's take a peek with this ship. Soon we're going to move another ship into the situation here. Okay. I'm going to get that 39. Gonna want to maximize what I can to get some stuff here. Let me just try to type in here, see if it's gonna let me get into my chat. what should be the normal way. Roosters. Oh, yes. Gonna actually work. Come on. Come on, you stupid phone. There you go. Two-factor authentication being... Okay, it is letting me... I'll be damned. So it only took them several updates to get it so that OBS will let me into my own chat on YouTube. So there we go. All right. Good. That is great to know. That is great. I was going to say, I would like to give you guys... Oh, sweet. Oh, I know. Yeah. Mrs. Rister's brought back some candy to kind of take care of her husband. I think she's been feeling bad that I was feeling sick. So she knows I wanted a little candy for Halloween. So, let me see here. I want to give you guys a link also to help if you want to get New World and play that game with us as well. Several of us, like Hagen was talking about, we're playing that on a few different servers and having some fun with that game. So, and I have an affiliate link, and if you want to buy the game, then it can help me out a lot by buying it using my link, and it costs the same. So that's, which to me is kind of cool. Officers, do I need to max out to help me at future levels? Oh, that'll be your Kirk Spock Con, your Gorkon grouping, just for the most part, your Nero grouping. So those are all different faction ones. And then Chen and Talon, Max, Cadet Ahura, and Cadet McCoy, too, because you're going to be using them like for the rest of your life. So let's see here. So that below is the Amazon link with a quick link to the New World game if you are interested in playing that with me or checking it out, but want to support the stream and the channel. That will help. So thank you. Let's see here. But yeah, your hostile officer. I mean, I use my hostile officers more than anything else. But then you're going to have your actual top tier Armada officers and your top tier PvP officers, as well as your miners. But there are certain miners that are worth more than others. But you probably, because with some of these folks, you're going to want to max them out anyway, or get them close to max out because you want to get your transporter patterns for the future, which will give you that currency to pick some of the officers that you need to work on. But that you shouldn't be at transporter patterns levels yet. One thing you do want to do, let's see here, in your faction stores here, Mick. Make sure it does make sense to be getting your, where are they? Your recruits. Now you can see at this level you can get 500 for 80, and it goes down. The price goes down as your level. So if you're close to one of these levels, you can wait. I do the 300s because I'm at this level, and you get 3,000. So I do that pretty daily to kind of boost up. The officers that you're getting from these are all good officers. Well, not all of them, but I mean, the officers that you're getting from these are the ones that I'm talking about, that are going to be generally good. They'll help you hold your own in PvP and armadas, and some stuff like that. They're not absolutely the best officers, but they're pretty good. Let's just buy some of that. There we go. I'm going to end up having to farm data again very soon, it looks like. So when you get those, in fact, let's kill that swarm, and then we can look. Let's look, because we're in the officer event, so I can pull some faction officers, no problem. We can talk a little bit about them because I'm having mental problems remembering which ones are which there. Oh, let's look. All right. Oh well, that's not it. Got to recruit. And I got my, but once I've been buying these things, you'll get Federation, Klingon, or Romulan recruits. So if I got a Federation, these are the officers that we see available here. You know, Kirk, Spock, Bones are going to be the top tier of this grouping. You know, Sulu and Arcady and Scotty and Uhura not nearly as good, but you're going to get from a pool. But Kirk, Spock, Bones will be useful, and when Bones gets maxed, he actually helps out the morale crew because these guys function under the morale system, which does some extra protection and stuff like that. There's a special mechanic for each of these three that we're talking about. So when we do that, like, so I'm going to pull. I got plenty of these, but let's pull a few chests because I'm maxed out on Spock. So that means every time I get Spock, I get transporter patterns in its place, which is cool. There's Kirk. So you do want to max Kirk and Spock for sure. Bones, yeah, you know, but so many people are using Khan, Kirk, Spock, Khan, and then there's some other builds. So that's Federation. On the Klingon here's Gorkon, kind of the head of the hull breach side. Kurla being particularly good with Gorkon, and then I usually end up going with Azabatur. Chang has his uses, but he's a little weird. And then now all these side use, the ones that aren't useful, so to speak, or are less useful, they're going to be very useful below decks or going on away missions. Now that we have away teams, this changes everything about officers, because before you used to only spend on the ones that you would use actively, and now you need built up officers to send on away teams that you don't need to use on your ships. So you still need a good bit of built up officers that you put below decks to give you that boost, to give you the maximum bonuses and all that. But you also need some built up officers that you don't mind the fact that they're sitting away on a 1 day or a 12-hour or 3-day away team mission where you're not missing out. So let's just open a bit for this event. Obviously, I have more, but I want to kind of see where I'm at. Whole town is not bad. So, and here's Nero. He's the king, the head of Burning, old Burning. Kumak is really good as captain with Nero on the side, actually. It's one of those. And then I usually use either Livis or Vimit. I think it's Livis first that I use. No, maybe it's Vimit. Resurrect. Maybe. I think so. I think Vimit. But anyway, then the others, you know, go like Javaid has a inventor thing. Him and like Scotty on the other side have some inventor things. I put some pips for away teams, so now that makes them more useful. But that has to do with away teams as opposed to being on the ships. Now, when you have them and early on you don't have everybody, then you use the green ones, you know, until you get the better ones. And then again, Picard, Riker, right? Beverly Crusher, you know, soon Honor Guard Wolf, you know, Worf, you know, just different things like that are going to be issues and things that come up. So let's look. There's a ship. I wanted to peek and see what this looks like here. Mega Cube. Oh, well, I'm at rank 4, but we have a whole day, so nobody's going to let me live there. But I'm not going to spend them planet. I'm not going to spend them early. I'll play catch up later. Who's getting awards here? Oh, it goes up to 500, so I will definitely get to be in that. But I'll try to stay in like 25. Otherwise, I'm going to be like driven mad where I think it makes sense to spend money, and that is this trap that Scopely is fine with. So be aware of that, you know. So let's kill this, and then obviously just seeing if another swarm pops up before. Yep. So kill them. Do need to get some coffee. Here, okay, that's the. Boy, the dailies are going to be a thing. Well, they shouldn't be a thing if I'm grinding all these high-end hostiles and swarm, in all theory, but it just feels like there's a lot. There is a lot, given Faction Hunt on top of Sunday activities. So I'm going to be cooking a special meal with me and Mrs. Rooster for our special Sunday dinner, Halloween special, I guess. And it's going to take a few hours of tending, but should be really rewarding. But I'm probably going to have this Star Trek on my iPad near the kitchen island or the stove, where I can keep grinding away on some stuff in order to get that faction hunt done. As I know I won't be finishing it on this 2-hour stream. So let's see here. Yeah, free to play. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. Is a game that actually allows people to do free to play, and that's good. And so you need to know where you're at. Are you free to play? Are you spend a little but not a lot? Are you spend a good bit but not go crazy? Are you just do it all and get whatever you want? It's fine wherever you are. It's just like, but you don't want to, whatever you're comfortable being in based on your budget and how you feel about spending, you don't want to feel compelled to spend a little bit more to jump into another lane for a little while. There we get the later on in your swarm stuff, you're going to get your con shards. So that's going to go at Mara. Mara, again, good. I send her on away team missions, all that. So, and put her below decks all the time. So, but yeah, if you're doing free to play, this is one of those games, and there's not a ton of these mobile games where, although you can spend a ton, and they want to encourage you to spend, of course, that's how they're making their money. But this is a game where I'm camping at level 34 right now. This is not where I want to stay, and I'm planning to move up as soon as I get a few. I think as soon as my Franklin gets to the next tier, I think is when I'll move, which is coming soon, especially if I remember to grind my Franklin when I don't have to, that kind of thing. Oh, well, thank you. I like this one a lot. I got a whole bunch of comic book shirts that I like to wear. Anyway, I can give you a link later. I have a place where I get a bunch of them. They have a lot of good art. And they give me a small commission, but I just like them. I was wearing them before I started streaming, and I'm like, these are perfect for streaming. So this one is particularly good. I'm looking for some more. There's some more art of this era with the Joker art that I think is some of the best. So I gotta get some more Marvel shirts too. I have less Marvel shirts than I do DC shirts, but I like them both companies. There we go. Let's pull. See how we're doing here. Also, I felt the Joker was more appropriate than Superman and stuff for Halloween, Oh, no, that's not. That's a different shirt. That's my merch store. The link. I finally got my Nightbot and my stream bots working for the YouTube streams, and it took some work, I must say, but it works now. So not to go below level 40. That's a paymaster. It's really, I think that's changing over time. I'm gonna go to like 36 soon, and then I'm gonna go to 39, and there I'm gonna stay for a while. But the thing is, 40 is they're making adjustments to the game on 40s and 40 plus that is making it better over time. So the longer, at your level, it's going to take you a while before you have to worry about that. So 40 plus may be different by the time you're in your later 30s. But 39 is a fine place to stay, in my opinion. And that is where I'm going to stay until I know exactly what I'm getting into. Because as it switches over with the 4-star stuff, it has to do with the resources and how easy or hard they are to get, and whether or not it really works mainly for grinding versus spending. So you have to be aware of all of that. Right here, Mrs. Rooster moving around. She was wanting to play New World earlier, but when I was getting ready to stream, and I probably will set it up so that while I'm streaming New World in a little bit, that she can be out of frame and all that. I have to do some adjustments in the studio, but been able to make it work. So let's see here. But yeah, I'm not going to 40 anytime soon. But I know 40's already gotten better since they used to say stay at 39 for the longest time, you know, that sort of thing. So that over time it's probably going to adjust, because as more people get there, Scopely doesn't make money if everyone sits at 39. They're not going to make the same amount of money, because they need the people to be moving into the 40s and beyond, and having reasons to spend to advance. And and although you still have plenty to spend on at 39 while you're maxing out and all that stuff, if the majority, if even 50% of the population stopped at 39, that could be going to 40 and 45 and all that stuff, then that would really hurt their pocketbook, because you just don't have the same reasons to buy. So they're having to make some adjustments so that it's easier. It's one thing to have it as stretch zone where people who want to flash their e-peen and and all that are able to kind of feel very strong as a Kraken. There's always going to be that zone where people can pay in to enjoy the hey, look what I've got that no one else has kind of thing, and that's fine. But they eventually need lots of people to go in, and they need to make another tier. We need to be going to 60 and 70 and 80 levels, just like they do on a lot of MMOs, where they kind of keep raising the level caps and giving harder stuff and more elite stuff that people want to play and suddenly have a new reason to go to. Because when the people that spend the money and kind of get into that max zone, they start running out of stuff to spend money on. They stop running out of stuff to be excited about. And they really help carry a lot of these mobile games, because they do spend so much. That's an important part of the economy of these games. But ironically, this game is well suited to people not being at the max, not chasing the max, and still being able to have an enjoyable time, which you can't say about like Marvel Strike Force as much, or many other mobile games, where it's like you're either moving towards the top, or you're not being effective. You could be plenty effective and have a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm a little stale. I'm stale at my ops level. Just because, but I was finally catching up on things that I neglected at times, like the Franklin research and building the Franklin, getting that Vidar up, getting the Stella up. Got my Devore up when the Devore research changed quite a bit. So been working on a lot of that stuff from like 32 to 34, and of course triple faction locking, which I think happened at 32. But all those things, kind of like getting ducks in a row and then moving on up. Because it doesn't matter as much in the lower levels, but if you start moving too fast, at some point you start getting yourself in a situation where you're not ready to do things. You may be ineffective. You don't want that. Okay, we've killed. Let's look. Threat from Beyond. Once we have that, it's all faction hunt after that. So we just need 22. So we've done 53 kills of Swarm already, which starting to zoom in. We're in the final stretch. Probably before we get there, another one will pop here, and we'll just kind of keep coming back. But let's see. So I'm sure I'll go to 40 eventually, and I'll look for it. But as you can tell, this is a game where I can find some comfort in actually sitting where I'm at 34. But I am tired I'm ready to go. I just kind of kept double checking. I want to go to 36, and I might speed through 35 to get to 36 and then stall and catch up, and all that, and continue working. I originally thought I would be getting my epic ships here at 34 a lot sooner. That was kind of a laugh. So I will get them, and I should get the auger eventually, but I may end up doing it while I'm 35, 36, depending on how quickly I move. So, and then I'm going to work on those things for a long time, and hopefully enjoy that. I still like the ships I have, and I'm still getting a lot done. So that's the stuff to consider. Let's see. Forgot to get my... Alright, just doing a little sound check, making sure the music... I don't have the same tech here, so the music can get a little... It was too loud last week, but the tech is updated, so it might actually be in a better spot. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, here we go. All right. Hey, phone. So we will be doing some stuff on Twitch, and I think that's right. Stream Elements is popping in here and periodically saying some stuff about. There's my Twitch stream. There it is. So to make sure we're not there yet, but soon enough we will be taking a break and then getting on Twitch. There's a link to the Twitch stream. Well, because that's and I do Star Trek on there several days a week in addition to our Sunday here on YouTube. Here. Oh, did my ship just get full? See, my ship is full, so this is a good, we were talking about this earlier. I am going to go ahead and recall it. Well, I'll kill that because it's close. I need, how many do I need? This is the question. Like, I'm going to send it back. We're going to grind on the other side. We'll get it flipped around. And then I'll repair it and send it out. Because what I want to do, part of what I want to do with the ship is I'm going to want to grind extra beyond the 75. I'll grind until the cargo bay gets full a second time because I need the frequency modulators. Do not underestimate the value of the frequency modulators while you're building your Franklin. I definitely made that mistake for probably 10 levels in the 20s and into the 30s or something. While I was playing, because I know people didn't think that the Franklin was worth its salt. Mine wasn't good enough to do anything because I had let it fall behind, and I was thinking the Franklin's not really good here. I don't understand. And so I was using my Mayflower. I was using my Mayflower and later my Saladin to do the Swarm Sunday events. It was a lot more painful, a lot more costly, took a lot more time because those things are not. Franklin's a cheap repair, cheap and fast, relatively fast repair compared to even a Mayflower. No. Come on, dude. See, I'm going for that one. So. There we go. I was afraid he was going to go for both of them. Not much of a friendly. The hand is supposed to be implying. Okay, that's my people, and they were probably going after or thinking about that sooner, so fine. Who is it? Maybe somebody I need to say hi. Oh, Okanoan. Hello. Guess you're taking them all there. Oh. Guess I'll go somewhere else. Here we go. Alright, ship's flying back. Thought on that. Always hard when you're moving into a new section for the grinding because you're like, who are the people that are actually actively killing the hostiles versus just sitting, floating, and all that, unless you've been watching it. Now I should. Well, are we the same ship? Let's see. Who's faster here? It looks like I am. We're not. No, we are the same ship, but... Alright, folks, take your bets. I think he might beat me here. Still makes him a bastard, but yeah, he's a bastard, so we can either choose to kill him or just Just hope him and his family dies a horrible death. You know, whatever. The normal stuff. There he is, proving. Yes. There you go. Redeem. Yeah, you heard, because if I start praying that you know, bad things happen to you, you know, you probably don't want too many people in that situation. So just beware. Go. Sorry. Don't be that guy. All right? Don't be that guy. So. Let's see here. So it looked like he's slightly faster than me too, so that's always annoying. Alright, now that is... I'm not going down there. Too many annoying people. So let's see. Well, as long as I'm seeing 39s that are untargeted, second, we'll move around. Eventually, I'm just going to go to Wolf and do some... There was a green screen error. All right. So we're going to pop over in a second. All right, right here. We'll let that ship do its thing. We have this ship. Okay, that person looks like they're going after 39. I'll go after this 39 and see what happens. If they go by it, then that's a different story. But yeah, I know this person's going to do that. Am I going to hit it first or not? I did, so then he can get the other one. I almost gave it up and all that. Trying not to be that guy either. But also, like, you don't get carte blanche in what you want. There you go, there's one. Try to pick places where things that people aren't going after unless I'm really close to it and it's too precious, you know. So let's see. Here. 39, no, but 39 here. Nice having this being the Saladin, it is more effective because, of course, it's just faster. It's an interceptor. It's the fastest of the three types of ships. So, all right, let's look at where we're at now. The Mega Cube is not. We're at rank 4. I'll have to check in there later, like in 8 hours, and see how far I've dropped, and then open some more and see what happens. Plus, I think. All right, so killing the Romulans, we're chipping away at that. Killing the Federation, we're making good headway there with those 39s. And then, how's our... I want to go to this event store. Okay, we want to... Actually, I'll show you a trick. Go here, say repair. Yes, speed up. Go here, speed this one up, knowing that you're planning to finish it. Do that. Boom. Now it starts automatically repairing the other one that you were trying. So that is a slight Star Trek Fleet Command life hack. You're welcome. There you go. So let's take a gander. I'm just looking at what upgrade. Okay, there's no upgrade yet for that. But let's get our beloved Bortus. Got some alliteration. And this one is going to be going after... This one, the chin will actually help. So we'll put our Bortus roll. Okay, I'm completely lost in the system. There it is. There we go. Now send the Bortus. Let's make sure we don't... Before I send it, let's make sure we can't put more people underneath, because we probably can. There we go. Now, let's give it a little defense. Yeah, sure. There we go. 300 in red, right? There we go. All right. That one will go and dip away in. I got my biggest ship working on Federation, where I'm most, and I'll have 2 ships working on Romulan. That means later we'll close out with Klingon. Now that we were having the runs running away from people, and I was thinking that needed to cast aspersions on them. So not as much. Although there's, oh yeah, there's that dude. He makes me. Is he on here with 2 ships? No, that's not them. We would not be friends with. You know, aside from it's always would be nice just to go ahead and start ganking some of those people and be like, hey, yeah, try to be more polite, and that's your consequence. But that raises problems with the Alliance, so I don't do it. So I'm just gonna think it in my head and then let it go from there. So all right, we're moving over here. So, what's the best strategy or tip you can give me moving forward from level 20? Do I need to camp? 20, now, for 20 onward, basically, you're going to get, boosted stuff is going to happen to you when you go to even numbered levels. So, when you go to 22, things are going to change on you. When you go to 21, you're going to be fine. So, so feel free to go from 20 to 21 pretty quickly, and then make sure you're caught up before you go to 22, because it's going to increase the hostiles you have to kill. The different things are going to jump up on the even piece. The other thing is also make sure you're doing at least dual faction, if you're not already, and try to keep those somewhat close to each other, because if those get too far ahead, they actually become harder to kill the things for your faction dailies too. So, and that's more about your faction standing than it is about your levels. But between those things are going to make a difference for you. The nice thing in that early 20s is a fun time in the game, because 20 to 26, 28, you're getting a bunch of different ships start unlocking, and that's kind of fun. But they're not all, they're not the ships that you're going to end up using much later. That's going to come at 28 is when that starts happening. So when you get to 26 and 27, make sure you just really full. Just don't max out those ships that you get before that. But you are going to get your Vidar, I think, at 26. That one you want to go full on for getting ready to max out, and continue working on your Franklin all during your 20s. Franklin, the Vidar once you get it, and whenever you start getting your Stella, be working on that too. But don't kill with the Vaklis and the what are the names of these ships? Sorry, let's see here. Vidar. Yeah, okay. Well, get your Vidar and start working it up. Thank you, Rudy. But once you're in there, you can start working on those things. Do not max. There we go. Don't worry about maxing ships except Franklins and Vidars, Stellas. There we go. Let's look. Where are these darn low-level ships? Let's go to level. Ship power level. Because yeah, your I like it when it shows the levels, and I'm like, your Kira, your Vaklis, your Kumari, do not be maxing those out. They are going to serve a purpose while you get up there, and then you're going to get your once you get, you're not even going to max these three, whichever these you get. Eventually you're going to max the Mayflower and the D3 later on in your after you have your enterprises and things like that. But that's you don't do that in the short term. It's more when you get to 28 and you start getting some stuff like your Saladin. Your Saladin is gonna be maxable, and a lot of people can ride that for a long time. Hey, Roach Motel, how you doing? Very good. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. I was just amazed a little bit at how much grinding we had going on with this ship. Well, good, thanks. I was like, I can never remember some of the earlier level stuff. I haven't played mid-level play in so long that it becomes kind of a thing. But yeah. Let's get this back. Oh, that's right. Go for our little trick here. Swarm clusters. Okay, we found them. Found a battle and that point. Great to see you, Roach Motel. Thank you for stopping by into the stream. There we go. Go. I'm just hanging out here and looking at just how much grind they put into our Sunday today, which is a spectacular amount with essentially Yummy Faction Hunt on top of Swarm Sunday. So it's gonna be a while. Watching Rev Deuce earlier and it came up. I don't remember. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was 26, but that's probably just me thinking about the 26 ships coming. But cool, that's why we have a brain trust here, and that is helpful. Hey, defeat Federation or Romulan faction ships of level 39 or higher. Alright, so what does that mean? That means we don't need to kill Feds or Romulans of 3940 for daily reasons, and it means we can kill lower stuff for points. We still got to do faction hunt, so that ain't getting done yet. But that means I need to be in Wolf, which over here, because now I can go. Really, 39s are useless once this happens. What I want are 40s for the points and 38s because they hit my hull less. Yeah. No, it's fine. You're only level 20. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, you've actually got there's a ton of fun. It's fun because I think at every 2 levels there's a new ship for you. You don't get that in the 30s, you know. I mean, you do, but by the time you're in the 30s, you're like, oh, there's a lot of advice not to get some of the ships, and you're like skipping ships that you could get. So in the 20s, it's exciting because you're like, wow, I got the Voklas. Okay, you are going to build them up, but you're going to build them up into the middle, like tier 4, 5, 6, that kind of thing, you know, while you're using them. And if they're doing what you need them to do, you don't need to spend any more resources on them. And then there's going to be another one that comes up. So I never max those suckers out. I might, if I have an abundance of resources, which is probably a laughable statement, I might do that sometime to level those up, to scrap them, and to help me progress in an event. But no, Mick, there's no problem being. I mean, like I said, it's actually a fun time to play. There may be more fun there than in some other zones when you're doing some of the grind, because the grind isn't as noticeable until you get into the 30s and then into the 40s and 50s. You know, that kind of thing really makes a big change. But because some of it has to do with like waiting longer for the payout, like, oh, I'm working on getting the Augur and the D4 and the Enterprise, and that's going to take forever. But I'm still working on my Burrell. And it's all been really slow because I'm not spending any money on advancing some of that stuff. But, yeah. 20. Oh, level 1s are welcome here. We're just going to go on. And everybody's in their own developmental pace. And that is fine. So, don't worry about that. But yeah, I would say go to 20. You know, now you're 20. Feel free to push to 21 without any real worries, and then take stock before you go to 22. Make sure you know, look at what dailies you have going on. Good. Yeah, if you're having, I mean, it's a fun time in there. And again, I remember that grind, you know, and that part, because it's like, wow, in just 2 levels, I'm gonna get another ship of a new kind, because like I didn't have you don't have the battleship, or you don't have an explorer, because you got the interceptor, then you get an explorer, then you get a battleship. And then at 26, you open up your faction ships, and that's where you can start getting the different things based on your faction standing. Now all the 39s are here. I guess I'm going to have to start killing a few of them. So it's a lot of fun. Just know that those ships before 26 are not. You don't want to max them. You're not even going to use them super long. That battleship that you get at 24 is going to help you with some base rating if you're doing that at that point, at some point, and all that. Battleships can take more beating. It starts becoming more apparent there if you put some beef into it. Rushed to 39 before I should have, but I'm probably going to be here for a year. So because I need to focus on ships and research, I should have waited. But yeah, exactly. You know, there's a lot of us in different stages. I've learned the rush is like, sometimes it's like, you know, take your time, see what you can do. It's like, I am sitting at 34. It is not really where I want to be, but it's like, I'm just trying to make sure that I want to be able to handle my swarms when I go up. And if I can't, then I'm going to not enjoy the leveling. No matter what else comes, I want to get to 36 quickly, but I want to be able to handle my my swarm situation before we get into that. Oh yeah, let's check. My ship just blew up, so it looks like, and I'm not done. Dang it. So but yeah, so rushing isn't great, but if once you realize you have rushed, you kind of just need to camp and catch up. That is a big part of what you got to do. What did I hit? Did I hit a... No, I just got wore out. There we go. Now that I can hit these 38s, gonna free me up. I'm not gonna have to fight with so many people. But yeah, I will eventually go to 39 and camp for a long time, but I'm trying to like do a lot of the camping before so that I'm doing, you know, I'm doing less. So I'm gonna camp for longer than I want to be at 34. I will camp again at 36. You know, I'll bump up to 36 and then I'll start hopefully enjoying a lot of my epic ships and things. And then I'll up to 39 and camp and catch up, all that. There's too many research trees now to worry about. The old adage of maxing out, doing every research you could before you go up an ops level. That made sense when we had 2 research trees back earlier in the game, but it's changed now that I think we have 5 or 6. 6? Get now. There we go. But now there's so many of them. So it makes sense. Have all the researches that you think are relevant to you before you go to the next level, and then you know you can skip some of the ones that aren't relevant. But that's not as easy to say or for people to understand. So let's see here. Oh yeah, and sure, we're getting close. Soon I'm going to be signing off here, and then after a quick break, coming back on Twitch. So there's the Twitch link again. Make sure you know, because I'm going to be doing some playing some New World. Probably playing with New World with Mrs. Rooster. I'll just rearrange the room that way she can be playing, and so you may be seeing her character some if I'm helping her. It's got a new alt. Ah, you're gonna get me. So, yeah, all that. But make sure you're following on Twitch as well. And, of course, Twitch is also where you'll get plenty of Star Trek Fleet Command. We're starting to build more, what the? All I gotta say is what the? That bug is unacceptable, Scopely. Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. Hell, what are they doing there? I traveled there, and then it reset me. Did y'all see that? Because I'm like, F you, Scopely. Fix your gosh darn game. Oh, no. No. I love it when they do that. Those kind of bugs when we have places where we actually compete with speed to get things, not acceptable. No, I mean, it's not really acceptable in general, especially in a game where you pay way too much to play. But they, you know, it's just not acceptable. It's bullshit. Anyway. They don't want to camp so long that you become surly, anti-Scopely like me. So. And And actually, this is the better Scopely game. So this is much better. The way they run this is way much better than Marvel Strike Force. So we'll give them props for that. And I enjoy this game far more. But these bugs can take a flying leap up Scopely's took us until they fix them. So as far as I'm concerned, so. Especially when I'm playing on the PC app. PC app needs to be the best performing thing they've got. So. Not the ugly stepchild. They want us to play on here. They definitely want us to spend on here, I can tell you that. So it needs to be really good. Plus, there's no reason it shouldn't be outperforming a mobile device. So. Alright. It's like, I can never trust if Scopely's game is actually doing what I told it to do and what it said it was doing, or if it's like, oh, take backsies. 10 seconds ago, you looked like you were going towards that hostile, but we reset you and it turns out you weren't doing anything. Fix your game. There we go. I want 30 now. Well, we'll go after 40, I guess, but trying to hit 38s with the occasional 40, and now the 38s are drying up. So anyway, let's see where we're at here. All right. I think my swarm ship is back where it needs to be, so let's go tidy up Swarm Sunday here. There's all that. Yeah, fly backwards, because that's not the direction you were ever trying to go. So it would be nice if they can fix some of these darn bugs. These things have been... Yeah, they crept in the last 6 months, some of these flight path bugs, and they have just been horrendous. So... but at least when we have our patch notes, we see a lot of bug fixes. In the UK, you've got to go now. Work in the morning. Okay, no problem. Thank you for being hanging out and all that. Look for me, Saturday mornings on Twitch for Star Trek Fleet Command. Sunday mornings, especially if in the UK, and then it's because it's going to be after work, like 5:30, 6 p.m. Pacific time in the States. On Twitch during the week when I'm doing more of Star Trek streaming. Unless I get some late ones when we have holidays, which there's some holidays coming up in the States, so I may be able to do a late stream, which works better for the UK folks. But just make sure you're following and checking so you get that. I appreciate you hanging out again, and it's great to see you and talk with you. Good luck with your progression. You may be level 22 next week when you get dropped in. So we'll talk about where you're at and what you've been experiencing. So... stream, I'm going to be kicking off. I just want to finish my swarm part of the Sunday. The gummy faction hunt will have to continue off stream while I'm doing some cooking and dinner prep and all that. So I have to coordinate, but I will be on with some New World soon on Twitch with possibly with Mrs. Rooster, but definitely with me. So we'll see. Let's see. Killing. Want to get this sorted out here. Forgot to eat my breakfast. So, it's glad we got through some of the problems I was having with my OBS streaming, because I was like, why is my YouTube streaming broken? But it is now working. All right, that Threat from Beyond completed. Like I said, I'm gonna need to keep doing those, but with that, we're gonna go again. Make sure you check us out on the Twitch side. If you haven't already, give us a follow over there. That's like subscribing in YouTube. It's free, just gives you a notification so you can find me more easily and know when I'm live, because it does vary between the week and the weeknights. So I'm gonna be kicking off now, and again, look for the videos. Check out the other videos. We've got tons of Star Trek Fleet Command and more YouTube videos on Star Trek Fleet Command to come. So, and I hope you enjoy this Mega Cube event and everything. So y'all take care and cock-a-doodle do.